welcome back to Sahara TV. The word dumsor has become very compound in Ghana these days. That word refers to the pertinent failure of the government to supply power or electricity to its citizens to conduct their everyday lives and their business. Last week thereabouts, a group of celebrities took a vigil to protest the incessant onslaught of this rather unfortunate phenomenon. Also, the latest to this is that the government is purported to be trying to sell out the Electricity Corporation of Ghana, the state's power supplier. On the line right now, reaching us from Ghana, is the editor of the Daily Guide, Fortune Alimi, who help us to understand what really is going on in Ghana concerning this. You're welcome to Sarah TV, Mr. Alimi.
Thank you very much.
And thanks for your time, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. So let me start by asking you, the news broke that the government is trying to sell the Electricity Corporation of Ghana. However, it did not break from the media or even from Parliament. It was broken by the American Embassy. How do you feel about this?
Yeah, it's been in the news. I mean, since last year, we all know that there's something like that is in the offing, because clearly, when the government signed on to the Millennium Challenge account, the second compact, and they tie it to power production, that is improving the power supply to Ghanaians, obviously it's one of the conditions they put up that, well, if that is what you want, then you must improve the services or the operations of the ECG, Electricity Company of Ghana. So basically, it's one of the reasons. And if I may draw your attention to it, the first tranche of the compact, they ought to have released the money by this month. I'm talking about this current month, May. But they have to put it to December because certain conditions that are attached to the release of the fund, including the privatization of ECG, has not been fulfilled. That is why the money has even been pushed forward. The release of the Millennium Challenge account, the second compact for Ghana, has been pushed forward. So basically, it has been in the news. It was part of the deal they signed. So it's not a new thing per se.
I see. Is this why nobody seems to be reacting? Kwesi Pratt, a journalist, expressed his disappointment that the news was broken by the American Embassy rather than Parliament or even government spokesperson, or even by the media.
The issue is that I personally, we have written about it before, but the issue is that government is a bit hedgy when it comes to the privatization of the business, because the people they want to keep the company to, they are not bringing a dime, they are not bringing anything, just coming to manage it, and you are handing over the whole entire state asset to them. They are not bringing anything, just to come and manage it for 20 years, and you are taking 500 million from America, you are giving this, which can give you ECG alone, asset of ECG alone, when it is about over $6 billion. And you are giving, because of $500 million, you are giving this to the so-called managers, the foreign managers or whoever is coming to manage it for 20 good years.
Do we know who is coming to? Do we know who is coming to take over yet?
We don't know who is coming to manage it. But I won't be surprised that it's going to be an American company. That's why I'm quite sure that it's going to be an American company.
So let me get this clear though. So you were saying that this is necessarily tied to the MCA, that government necessarily has to, release the Electricity Company of Ghana,
yes,
to access the MCA?
It's tied to the MCA. Very much.
I see.
Very much. That is why it took the American ambassador to break the story.
That's interesting.
Because government has been very hedgy about it. Government has been very hedgy. When you mention selling of ECG or privatization of ECG, they are very hedgy. They are not truthful. With the facts. They don't want to come out with the facts.
Does government see this as a step towards ending the crisis? Is government boldly saying that this is going to solve the doomsday crisis?
It has nothing, my brother. It has nothing to do with the current crisis we are facing. It has nothing to do with the current crisis we are facing. Because the current crisis we are facing is not about distribution, it's about generation. And the company coming is not coming to generate power. They are coming to distribute what is already available. So if they come and there's no power available, there's nothing to distribute. So there's nothing they're coming to do except to distribute what is available.
I see. There's also reports that the government is planning on building a barge connected to the oil fields, which is supposed to help, alleviate the problem. Can you speak to this?
What is happening is that I was part of the team that visited Lebanon and Turkey to inspect the power barges, the power ship, they call it, being built by car power ship of Turkey. We were in Lebanon for a day, then from there we moved to Turkey to inspect the thing. What is actually happening is that they are bringing in these power barges power ships, because they are going to generate power from the ship, which is going to be anchored at the shore of Temaport, at the shore, so the seashore. So what is going to happen is that they're going to generate about 450 power in order to alleviate the system. But it's not coming today. It's starting, the earliest they can start generating power is September. That's the earliest. All things being equal, because that is what we were made to believe when we visited the shipyard of the company in Istanbul, Turkey. So the earliest it can come is, but the crisis is still on. It's unabated. We are seeing the crisis. So for how long? The government is telling us end of the year everything will be over. They signed a lot of contracts with a lot of power producers or power, but we haven't seen much. So clearly, we still need to wait for about how many months now, 4 more months or 5 more months before we start enjoying whatever is coming.
I see. Deputy Power Minister John Jinapor says it's not a sale, it's a concession for 20 years. You already mentioned that. Do you know the fine details of this agreement apart from...
Brother, what is concession? What is concession? You are coming, the person is coming, you are giving your asset to the person to manage it for 20 years. What is concession? He will be in charge. He is going to take the money. The person has to pay himself before he even thinks of pay, if there's any profit, before you share it. So what is concession? It's a bad thing they are doing. Are they saying that we don't have people who can manage the distribution? Because they are not coming to generate. If it's about generation, you think that we need them. This is not about generation. This is about distribution. Are we saying that because our government is bad, we also call the foreign president to come and manage the presidency? Because we also have leadership deficit. It is about leadership deficit at ECE. That is why they are bringing managers. We also have the leadership deficit at the presidency. Are we suggesting that they are bringing people to come and manage the presidency? What are they talking about?
Ghanaians are responding very, loudly to the whole doomsday thing. It's affecting every facet of the economy and people's private lives. Last week there was a vigil. How did that vigil go? A vigil to protest against doomsday and all of that. How did it go?
It was very successful, my brother. It was very successful. It tells you the power of the social media working in Ghana, because the person who started the doomsday must stop vigil just started on social media, Twitter. Just hashtag doomsday must stop. And everybody, joined the campaign. And when finally, that's why the impediments trying to put on their part after the demonstration or the vigil finally took off. A lot of people, respectable individuals in the society, lecturers, professors at the university, professors who are even taught me at the University of Ghana, they were part of the vigil. So it tells you that it's affecting everybody. The vigil was held in front of the University of Ghana, which is also suffering. Students don't have light to read because the university cannot power any generator. And the university is not fed. Everybody is affected. Everybody. Even a day-old baby is affected.
Let's use your entity as an example. How bad is this affecting business?
It's so bad, my brother. This why you don't have. This thing has been going on for the past 3 years. But it started gradually, you know.
The DUSO thing is older than 3 years, though, Fortune, won't you admit that Ghana has had a power crisis beyond the 3 years that we're talking about?
My brother, power crisis has always been, every government has experienced power crisis. But the current one started in the middle of 2012. The current one, because that is when the current president started making assurance. At the point, he said it was an act of God. When the gas pipeline we were told that a ship stepped on the gas pipeline at the distance of Togo, during the coastline of Togo. That is what we were made to believe, that it was an act of God. Later, from act of God to act of man, that it was as a result of inadequate gas from Nigeria, inadequate this, inadequate crude or what. At the end of the day, starting from 2012, now we are still experiencing DUSO at the west level now. And this west level started around November last year. It was intermittent, which was still manageable, but this current one started around November last year. And my brother, I should tell you, we run a small business organization, a small newspaper establishment with about 200 staff. But let me tell you the effect. Every week, we spend 10,000 Ghana cedis. 10,000 Ghana cedis is about, with the current rate of the exchange rate, which is 4 cedis to $1. We are talking about $2,500 every week. Every month, we spend 40,000 Ghana cedis. Every month, for the past 6 months, or for the past 7 months now. Every month, we spend 40,000 Ghana cedis, unbudgeted for, because it was not part of our budget for the year.
That's like $10,000 a month just to keep your generators running.
Yes, $10,000 every month to power. And you know, diesel is very expensive in Ghana, or fuel price is very expensive in Ghana. Petrol and diesel, very expensive in Ghana. So every month we spend $10,000 unbudgeted for.
Okay.
And brother, you know what $10,000 can do?
Totally. Finally, let me ask you, there are other options to solving this power thing. People have continuously spoken about solar energy, for instance. Is the government making any plans at all to harness some of these potential? I hear that a school like in
France, you don't even have the solar panel.
Yeah, go ahead.
You don't have the solar panel.
Yeah, but you invest in that, don't you? What if the government wants to harness solar energy? I would assume that they would invest in that.
So far, the government project concerning solar energy can only give us 2 megawatts of power. And I'm saying that we have spoken to, in a crisis period like this, what government ought to have done is that to remove taxes from solar panels so that individuals can install solar panels in their homes, so that can give, what do you call it, a backup or alternative power supply.
Yep.
But unfortunately, the taxes are so high, so people cannot even bring the stock. Recently, I met a soldier who is on a peacekeeping in Mali. He is the one bringing some of these solar panels, and I asked him, my brother, how do you do it? He said, well, in Mali, because they don't have adequate electricity from the grid, what they do is that it's tax-free. So everybody is allowed to bring in. So solar panel in Mali is like any other commodity you can purchase from the market.
I see.
So he brings them to Ghana to install so that he can get small profits on this thing. You get what I'm saying?
I do, sir.
So
Thank you. Thank you very much. You definitely have given us much to chew on. Thank you so much, Fortune Alimi, editor, Daily Guide. We really appreciate your time, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm grateful.
All right. You have it there, viewers. Sahara TV, more coming. Don't go away.